Welcome back to my YouTube channel about learning English, and my topic today is about present tense. Present tense is used for making some sentences related with daily habits, or maybe when we talk about some routine activities or maybe usual activities. And here is the sample of the sentence. I go to school every day. I use the adverb of time by using every day. It's something related with routine activities. Another sentence is I usually get up at 5 in the morning. So it's about our daily habits that I usually get up at 5 in the morning. We use the simple present tense when an action happens regularly. Here are some samples of the verbs that can be used for present tense. If we use present tense, verbs are always in first form. Verb 1. For example, eat, take a bath, go to school, update status, call friends, etc. Now let's learn how to form the simple present. Remember that you have to use verb 1. And verb 1 is used for subject they, we, I, you. When you are going to use subject he, she, or it, the verb must use es or s. Positive sentences. We are going to learn how to make some positive sentences or affirmative sentences. For example, with the verb write. They write. We write. I write. You write. But if we are going to use the subject he, she, or it, don't forget that we have to use s for the verbs. So, it must be like this. He writes. She writes. Kajol writes. Kajol and Tushar write. Because it's two people, so we don't use s. It's same with they. Only in positive sentences for the subject he, she, and it. The use of verb should end with s or es. In general, you write s. For example, work become works, write become writes, speak become speaks. Verb that ends in the letters ch, o, s, sh, x use es. For example, pass, passes, finish, finishes, teach, teaches, go, goes. Verbs that end with the letter y and begins with a consonant, the suffix y is changed to I, then add es. For example, study, studies, carry, carries, cry, cries. Whereas the verb ending with the letter y that begins with a vowel simple use s. For example, buy, buys, play, plays, say, says. And now we are talking about the adverb of time. We can use every, sometimes, usually, often, rarely, seldom. And now let's see the word every. We can use every hour. It happens every hour. Or every day, every week, every Saturday, every month, every year, etc. For example, she writes a letter every week. Then in here, something that you have to remember, because I use she, so the verb must use as writes. She writes a letter and it happens every week. So she writes a letter every week. Another example, he writes English novels once a year. So it happens regularly. Every year he writes English novels. I sometimes write songbooks for children. So we use sometime, and you don't need to use S, just write, because the subject is I. So I sometimes write songbooks for children. They write application letters for some companies. See, there is a subject they, so the verb you don't need to use S, you just say they write. They write application letters for some companies. They sing some songs every Saturday night. They sing verb 1 without S. And it happens every Saturday night. We buy many English books once a month. So this is the regular activities that we buy, remember, without S, because the subject is we. We buy many English books and it happens regularly once a month. We buy many English books once a month. We study hard every day. So this activity happens every day. We study hard every day. She visits the library twice a month. You can look at this sample. The subject is she, because the subject is she, so don't forget to use S for the verb. So it becomes she visits the library and it happens twice a month. So she visits the library twice a month. Let's continue making some sentences by using present tense. I walk to work every day. I walk to work every day. We work hard all the time. We work hard all the time. You eat dinner at home every evening. You eat dinner at home every evening. I usually go to swimming pool by bus. I usually go to swimming pool by bus. They speak English every day. They speak English every day. She speaks English every day. She speaks English every day. And the function of present tense is also to talk about general statement, or it's about facts. You know that dogs bark, lions roar. We use dogs bark without S because dogs are plural, more than one. So we don't use barks, we use bark. Dogs bark, lions roar. A year has 12 months. People know that a year has 12 months. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. That's all my simple videos about present tense for English learners. And as you have just heard from the beginning till the end of the slides, I used English 100%. Then, now it's time for me to ask you questions. In my next video, do you want me to speak English 100%, no Indonesian, in giving explanation? Or do you want me to speak in two languages, English and Indonesian, as my channel is also for Indonesian students? So please write your comments, and I'm waiting for your comments so I can make a better video in my next video. Thank you for watching.